Hello, and welcome to Season 4 of Born with a Controller. That's right, we are here with the lovely Crismander4. Chris, welcome! I know I was supposed to interview a while ago, and I do apologize, but so much has been going on. I don't want to bring up the real world stuff, so we can bring up the comedic stuff, I got hit with the sickness.
You're down with the sickness. It's all good.
We're all down with the sickness, apparently. And as things starting to wind down, get a little bit more pleasant, spring is in the air, but we are still gamers. And right now,
So
people, excluding myself, wants to know your story of how you became a gamer, and that's what we're here for, sir.
I'm here for it.
I'm hoping you are, because why would you not be here, sir?
Right?
Exactly, right? And I'll just have to say, immaculate hairstyle as always.
Thank you.
I know you get a nice upgrade.
The Twitch purple.
The Twitch purple. I wonder what's that about.
I don't
Are
know.
you getting ready for something? Maybe. All right, as always, we're going to break the ice. What is your first video game memory, sir?
My first video game memory. That would be, we're going the way back machine. So this was old school PCs.
Oh,
where you
God.
would turn this on and it would sound like it's gonna blow up.
You'd be like, hit the dirt.
Legit. Like you turn this bad boy on and it goes. You're like, oh God,
what floppy?
Floppy disks were still a thing. Floppy disks were still.
Jesus Christ.
But I used to play this game with my dad, and we would share the keyboard together. So one of us would get the arrow keys, and the other one would get WASD to move your character around. And it was called Gauntlet.
Oh.
And it used to be an arcade game, but we got a hold of it on a CD for anyone that don't know what those are anymore.
It looks like a donut, but flatter.
Yeah.
And another
and shiny on one side.
And shiny, too. Don't eat it, though. Don't eat it.
You could. I don't recommend
I don't. Look, we're not Johnny Knoxville, all right? We can't get away with stuff like that. We don't have their health insurance.
But I remember playing that game with him. And I was pretty young. Not young enough that I can't remember playing it, but there was 4 classes you could play because it was like D&D.
Yeah.
So he would typically play either the mage or I think there was a dwarf in it that would throw axes or something like that. I can't remember the 4th character, but then there was an elf that was an arrow, and I always played that. So it was fun. But I remember one time we were playing it, and we got all the way up to basically the end of it is what he was saying. Like this is as far as he had ever gotten as a kid growing up because he played this as a kid when it was just joystick and buttons, the 2 buttons and a joystick.
The
yeah. But we got up to it, and there's this big red dragon at the end of it, and it's breathing fire and shooting fireballs at us, and we're not talking at all, complete synchrony with each other, and just no communication of any sort. And we beat the thing, and he just looks at me. He's like, "I've never beat that dragon once."
Well, you was his player too. That's awesome, dude. Damn, Gauntlet. Jeez, I don't even.
No, way back machine, told you.
I know, right? So would you say your father inspired you to continue on becoming a gamer?
Oh yeah, he was a pretty big proponent of it. I come from a working class family.
Yeah.
So getting the newest game console, the newest game wasn't something that happened. And I'm the eldest of 5, so if I got a game, we typically shared, and my siblings loved to watch me play. So when we finally did get an original Xbox from my dad, and he got us Halo, we would spend hours after school watching each other play and just having fun with it. So yeah, Dad definitely was a big gamer growing up. Arcade games was his thing, obviously. But we've got him into play Minecraft a couple times, and we tried to get him to play Call of Duty once. Did not work well.
I can see that. Trust me, I can definitely see that. But that's actually pretty cool that he got y'all the OG Xbox since there was a whole bunch of y'all and that had the 4-port, player. So that was actually good for y'all. Y'all could be your own squad in Halo.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I could imagine.
Trying to share like a little TV monitor with 4 people. Oh yeah, it was blast.
So here comes a definitive question though. At what point in what game did you feel that you was born to be a gamer, that you beat totally by yourself? Like it was like your white whale that you conquered.
I would have to say, and it'd be a tie between the two because I was playing them about the same time. It'd be a tie between Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space, the first one.
What did you feel was more scarier?
Dead Space, that game was terrifying. Don't get me wrong, Resident Evil's good and all, but like, there's nothing more terrifying than like something jumping out of the vent next to you and scaring you.
Especially baby spiders with the baby heads on them and everything like that. It was good.
Oh yeah, those things. That's
not the yard is hard as hell. God. So that actually opened you. So would you say that opened you up to other things? This is like one of those what came first, the chicken or the egg type situations. Because I know you are a Grandmaster Dungeon Master of D&D and other prefers. So what would you say came first?
Gaming definitely came first. I've only been in Dungeons and Dragons for a little over 2 years.
Are you that good at story lore? Jesus Christ, man.
But being the eldest of 5 comes into play there, I feel, because growing up, we played with our toys. Like, we had little action figures and whatnot, and we had the original Legos and stuff like that. Yeah. So we was to create whole continents, whole worlds in our house, where like my room would have a lot of Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
So like I obviously would be like this advanced technologically raised place that could fly to one to another and do stuff. And then like my brother had a lot more like cars and things like that. So his was more mechanical, and then my sisters had a lot more like weird kind of farm animals more, I guess. Like they kind of went that way with their toys. So like we would play and the whole house would become this whole new thing where like the hallway between rooms was outer space and whatnot. So being able to tell that story kind of came from that bit of my childhood, I feel, because it's like you kind of have to get in that mindset. And since all of us are kind of spread out just enough, that stayed a part of our lives till I was almost in my teens, and be able to create this world with like my 5-year-old little brother. So
that's freaking awesome, because you actually got me picturing the whole ordeal, not like, you know, seeing the toys or anything like that, just actually seeing the world. Got your farm world, your mechanic world, and then your whole futuristic plane. It's like freaking crazy. So I guess that would be your inspiration to actually share these stories and make stories in Dungeons and Dragons for us.
Yeah.
What would you say was your favorite campaign
for Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
My favorite campaign that I've played so far, I really enjoy. I'd have to say it's a tie between Tyranny of Dragons and Beyond the Witchlight.
Ooh.
And one I'm a DM in, so I'm a Dungeon Master and Beyond the Witchlight. And Tyranny of Dragons, I'm a player. And I really do enjoy Tyranny of Dragons, because dragons are my thing. Like, it's Crismander, so dragons and Crismander, right?
Well, let's get into that since you brought it up. What is the origin of your gamer tag and your name?
So Charmander and Pikachu were my favorite Pokemons growing up.
Oh, what gave that away?
I don't know. That.
It is a sleeping one too.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
That's cute, man.
But yeah, so they're my favorite Pokemon. I started with OGs. So that's when I jumped into it. But my whole family, all my siblings and me start with C's.
Yeah.
So and every once in a while,
pretty cool.
Yep. So, and we were trying to think of names one time for me on PSN on PS3.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what do I make my gamer tag? And all 5 of us are sitting there trying to figure it out. And we're like bouncing off these cool ideas and whatnot. And then we all just kind of like slowly made our way to Charmander. And we're like, hold up, Crismander. And then my other sibling, who's one of my mods for me on Twitch, goes, I like it. And then we started taking it and taking evolutions so some of us became more gamers than the others at that point. And we're like, well, we got Crismander, we got Charizard, because my youngest brother Carter, we made him
Charizard. I like that.
Charizard. And then we have Cassidy, who's my mod, and we were trying to do something with Charmeleon and Cassidy, and that's where we were like,
I'll say Casmeleon would work.
Yeah, that one got hard, but she tried to do it. That was the thing. So
the three of us off the tongue nicely. Casmeleon.
Yeah.
But I mean,
cat. She wants a cat thing more.
Oh. Well, we're not even gonna go into that on the new Pokemon. Let's not even start there. But I also understand that you are a purveyor. That seems like it led to your love of Charmander and also the Jurassic portion of your life. What brought that on?
So, Jurassic Park was a really big aspect of growing up for me. My parents, when we were growing up, they used to buy me like the little Hot Wheels, and I would lose them in the house because my childhood home, my parents built from the ground up.
Oh wow.
So I would lose those, and then I also had dinosaur toys that I had growing up. So when the original Jurassic Park came out, my folks took me to it as a kid, and ever since then, every time one comes out, we go. It's like a family tradition. We get Jurassic Park t-shirts for that new movie, and we get in our pajamas, and doesn't matter when that movie comes out, we always try to make it a thing. And if it's something where we can't, we're like taking off holidays to go together to go see it. It's like a whole family ordeal gets planned for it. So
That's
it's really
cool. Have you ever played the games?
I've played some of them, not all of them. But usually if I find like a cool dinosaur game, like I know the Isle was the last one that I'm like, okay, you could actually be the dinosaur. I'm here for that. But I do remember playing the like side scroll Jurassic Park game as a kid growing up. I want to say that was Sega.
The second one was called I'm talking about movie wise. What was it called again? Was it just Jurassic Park 2?
Lost World was
the
second.
I was saving this for the interview because I know you don't like Jeff Goldblum.
Don't.
And the funniest thing happened that was revealed recently, because I never played that one, but there was an annoying secret ending to it if you got 100% on it on the PlayStation version. And I was like, I wonder if he played that and did he get 100%? Because that would also make me understand the hatred towards Jeff Goldblum.
I did not play it on the PlayStation.
Well,
so now I'm going to do
that. Huh?
Still have the first PlayStation and it still works.
Damn, should I tell you what happens or?
Nope.
All right,
nope.
Never mind.
Find it. We're gonna go find it, and I'm gonna see if I can stream that mofo.
Oh, trust me, I can get you a copy. Don't worry about it. We'll see what happens. But anyway, moving on. So, as we all know, being a gamer, geek, nerd, and all that stuff, it has its upsides and it has its downsides. What would you say would be the downsides that you faced being in this world?
Time.
Ooh.
That's like, as you get older, time really starts to slip away from you faster, and especially when it gets busier and busier. Like, I work a fancy job, I work a corporate job, so half my day goes to that. I am married, so I do want to make sure I spend time with my wife and my family still, and so it's kind of a juggling act of trying to figure out, okay, what can I do after work? I still have to do groceries. I still have to do laundry because I gotta wear clothes.
Adulting, right?
Right. And then it's just like, all right, well, I don't want to make her feel like she's not included. So like sometimes I'll try to play a game with her, or I'll just outright go, I'm not playing games today, guys. I'll see you later. And then
honestly, I feel like some of us definitely need to take that break to ask. Some of the young kids would say touch grass.
What's that? Green stuff outside?
I guess so. It feels nice on the feet, but Don't do it in New York. Don't do it in New York. Wear
Okay,
shoes.
for sure.
But other than that, I mean, I understand that because you have to balance everything out in life. So it gets kind of hard when you want to just take a day off and spend time on your favorite game, or even share it with the loved ones, like you said. And I think that's the beautiful thing that you have, that you can actually share your geek world with your loved ones. Because your wife is a gamer too, right?
A little bit. She's not into like the FPS and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. She's done more like side scroller
Mm-hmm.
kind of games. We actually one time sat down and did Spyro. When that came out for, I want to say Xbox One. I went out and got it.
Yeah.
But she's a really big Final Fantasy player, so she likes
Oh.
that. Granted, she's stuck at one point right now, and it's kind of pissing her off. So we won't dive too much into that.
No. That's a sensitive subject. We just not gonna
Not
touch
incur
it.
the
Not gonna
wrath of
touch it.
Crismander.
Oh Jesus! Be a whole new world of doghouse. Don't even. We're not gonna give into that. But what else does it germinate with you? Like, what's your favorite anime?
Favorite anime?
Yeah.
I'm kind of tied between a couple right now.
Yeah.
My first anime that I got into was a film, and it was Spirited Away. And Miss Mander was, yep, Miss Mander actually got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I'd heard of anime before, but never really got into it.
Oh, so you're a late bloomer.
A little bit, yeah. I didn't get into it like my freshman, sophomore year of high school.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, as long as you got into it, it's just, hey, you start wherever you need to start. That's how I say. But that's a good one to start with, though.
Oh yeah, she's a big fan of their work. So that was my first one, and since then we've been kind of going together and watching ones. I've seen Bleach, I've seen Naruto, I've seen parts of DBZ. Unfortunately, I couldn't get into it too that much, but it's good. I appreciate it, and I appreciate what they did with it.
Don't be scared to say you don't like Dragon Ball. I got your back. Listen, listen, all you Dragon Ball.
For the rest of DBZ fans,
I know, right? You got all the DBZ guys listening, like, what he about to say about Dragon Ball? What's gonna happen? Like, yeah, I got your back. I'll say it.
No,
Goku's the real villain.
I can appreciate Dragon Ball Z because my best man for my wedding is a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so I could definitely appreciate it, and he's shown me some of the craziness that world's got.
Okay.
But I've been getting more into like animes that I'm more into.
Mm-hmm.
So one that I really enjoyed was Angels of Death.
Okay.
And Death Note. Those were ones that I really enjoyed.
Oh wow. I was gonna probably recommend you. I was gonna give you a copy of it. No, not that. Oh, I was about to say the wrong one. Rise of the Shield Hero. Have you ever heard of it? You might like it. It has a whole D&D style to it. Regular guys get zapped into this fantasy world, but it doesn't go as planned. At least for one, the Shield Hero. But I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I just want you to deep dive in it, share the moment with the wife, and then you come back to me and let me know.
Interest are perks, so
exactly. So, moving on to that, have you ever played any other tabletop games, or has it only been squarely D&D?
Mostly D&D. Obviously, we've played generic board games and stuff like that. Like holidays in my house, Uno, Risk, and Monopoly are ordeals.
Monopoly is
like we had a Risk game that went for almost 2 months straight, and it stayed on the kitchen table, and we never moved it until it was done.
That's some genius level stuff. People don't understand that. It's like when you pit it against smart people, the game will last as long as it needs to be, either until somebody yields or somebody finds a way to get around that person.
Oh yeah, my dad's the reason why it goes on that long, because we'll like let you do trades, so you can be like, oh well, I'll trade you this country for this and things like that. As long as they're like touching. So like if like you got two countries touching, you can trade them. But he was a really big mastermind of moving those pieces. But that was before all of us got into like D&D and gaming more. So it was like, okay, you had the one up, not anymore now. So now we actually make him work for the win a lot.
Nice. Okay. So we're gonna get like a compare and contrast type situation right now. What do you feel is different? Like, how do you feel about gaming now versus gaming back then? Do you feel that it had more heart back then, or has it grown in like a iffy place at the moment, or has it gotten better?
I would say it's like a healthy dosage of both. Like, there's been good growth, but there's also, with anything that's got good potential with it, there's always bad sides to it.
Yes.
Like, I love that you can play with anyone now.
Yes.
And when I've got friends that live in other countries, other states, that, like, people even in my own city, getting them to play was a pain. So, like,
ain't that funny though?
Yeah.
Hard to get local people, but easy to get anybody from a different time zone.
Yeah. So I like that. And I like that there's that border of, oh, I'm on Xbox, oh, I'm on PC, oh, I'm on PlayStation is finally getting kind of broken down more and more. And you can play with whoever you want, more or less. And if you hop over, like, I used to be PlayStation originally, then I hopped over to Xbox, and then I hopped over to PC a couple of years ago. And it's nice that I can bring stuff from those consoles over to my current setup, and that way I'm able to hang out with my friends and play with them.
Not bad.
Yeah, but like, obviously there's bad things. Like, obviously you're gonna have toxic communities. You're gonna have weird things where, like, developers don't want to budge on certain things, or they make odd unfinished games, which seems to be the big proponent right now. So, but there's great things though with the gaming community, and it's gonna get better, and there's gonna be bad things, but it's that constant strive to, what can we do to fix it? And the community of gaming itself has to be that driving point, because if we can't tell the rest of the people that are in charge, that make the games we play, make the consoles, yo, we want this, nothing's gonna change. So we're the benefactors of their work. We have to tell them what needs to change and why. Otherwise, nothing happens.
I totally agree with that, because it seems like a lot of people don't understand about criticism and just being a plain ass dick. Like, you got to tell these companies what's wrong with it, not tell them why they suck. It's like a big misunderstanding to the whole situation. That's why I also feel that needs to improve with that. Like, you have some problem with the game, you can send a letter. They actually ask you for feedback. But I don't know. It's a struggle that we're gonna have to fight with. As long as you don't ignore it, things can change. Just telling you this. So what
you can prevent forest fires, right?
Exactly. Or knowing is half the battle.
Ooh, yes, that's a good.
But violence is still the other half of that battle. Stop. So what do you say is do you have any gaming icons currently? Like somebody you admire in the gaming world?
I do have one icon.
Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be like a popular person or somebody else. Could be somebody close to you.
Yeah, I would have to say that, like, the one icon that I do admire, it was an older streamer that I used to watch. Back before, like, I started doing, like, streams and things like that. His name was Vash12349.
Sounds familiar.
And he used to just be on YouTube, and now he's on Twitch and other platforms as well too.
Yeah.
But he used to originally just be on YouTube, and he would play, like, really fun games like Sly Cooper, and he showed Dead Space to me, and that's how I got into that game. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have ever found that game. So, but I would definitely say he was a big proponent of it, because I really enjoyed watching him play games and seeing how he did things, and that kind of got me into that whole aspect of gaming and the entertainment aspect that it could be, because it was something new that I never really noticed before.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to go through that with someone at that point where gaming and like streaming or capturing your games wasn't really a big aspect of YouTube. It was kind of like a weird subculture, I guess you could say, of it.
No, I got you. That's actually pretty cool, man. It's always gotta find that root, you know? All right, dude, man, listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You're a busy man. You're doing great things out there. You're bringing joy to people. You're making people afraid by playing Deceit and all these other games. I got 2 final questions for you, and this one's going to be hard. Since you play a lot of these survival multiplayer horror games, what would be your ideal horror game with your buddies?
Like one I play currently, or if I could make one up?
If you can make one up. Your own. If you can make your own.
I would have to say...
Pause for a second. I'm also giving you a nice, I want to say, stipulation that unlimited budget.
Ooh, okay.
Like, you got a blank check to make your own 4-player, or how many players you want, horror game.
Okay. I'm here for that. That person's about to be broke real quick.
Hey.
I would have to say it would be some sort of game where you can have 2 people. Like, you can at least have 2 friends, because that's a big proponent I see in a lot of the games I play, where you have to have 4 or more. But you could have, like, you and a buddy.
Yeah.
And then you could add some bots, even at that point, because everyone's usually got a buddy you can grab and play. But you at least need one other person with you, because that adds a little bit more flavor, I feel, when you got someone to bounce things off of. Especially with those kind of games. You need someone to play with.
Yes.
So it would be something where you've got you and a buddy, you can throw some bots in, and I do love Deceit's transform into the monster aspect. So that would definitely be something I would keep. I think I would do it where the monster kind of like Evolve can do, kind of like climb up into things and hide and whatnot. But the whole point of it would be to get through this forest or this cave and try to get out of it as fast as you can without getting killed. So that way, like, the monster can't go in light kind of thing, like that, like light versus dark kind of deal, like go towards that. And there's like weird equipment just kind of sprawled all over the place. Like, you might find like a odd sword that does damage to it, or you might find like a sawed-off shotgun just lying in a crate somewhere. Little things like that like can either hinder you, because obviously you gotta get closer with the sword, or could be really great to have, like the shotgun, but now you've got to worry about ammo. So things like that come into play. So that would be definitely kind of a game I would want. Obviously, I feel like something that misses for a lot of the like player characters is abilities, because everyone's always got their own little neat little like tricks and knickknacks about them. And I like that Dead by Daylight does that, where you can give yourself abilities and whatnot and boost your equipment. So that would be something I kind of implement into that game too.
Not bad, dude. I appreciate you talking with us. And on our final question, I want you to give some words of inspiration to somebody that wants to get into gaming or do what you want to, like, do what you do. What would you give them as solid advice or inspiration to just go for it?
I would have to say it'd be like kind of like a twofer. Be happy with what you do, and don't be afraid, because obviously you got to be happy with whatever game you're playing. If you're just going to be a straight gamer, enjoy the games you're playing. Otherwise, they're not going to be fun. You're not going to enjoy gaming. If you're going to go towards streaming, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, whatever platform comes down the line, enjoy the games you play, because your followers, your viewers are going to know really quick you're not having fun, and then that's not fun for them, and that's not something you want to do. And to go to the point towards not be afraid, I know a lot of people are usually like, oh, well, I want to get into PC gaming, but I hear it's really hard. Pull the trigger. You got a buddy that's got a PC? Go over his house, play on his PC. Go play on their PC. You want to get on the console gaming? Everyone's got a console nowadays. Like, it's almost impossible to say you don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. Well, maybe not a PlayStation, but everyone's got a console at this point of
so,
some
like, shots
sort.
Fired.
Shots fired. Got your PlayStation. But everyone's got a console,
Everyone's got a console.
So pull the trigger. Go over to that friend's house, or go to Walmart break your neck and stare up at the screen like we used to.
Oh shit! Crismander4, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch this man. Follow his name, follow his accounts. I'm gonna put them in the link below. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for checking out Born with a Controller. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Please hit that notification bell. Follow this man. He does great content. He plays with the community. If you want to join in, definitely. D&D session, maybe we might stream soon. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
We will do D&D streams.
We'll see what happens.
Not down the line. Not just yet. But
they want to see us play.
I promise we will do D&D streams, but I want a fresh campaign for you guys, so that way everyone's new to it.
Probably gonna be hardcore as hell, but other than that, yo, as always, be well, everybody. Stay safe. Peace out.